Welcome back to Stories of Day. This is part two. This is part two of chapter 1 of Pokey. Well, as her children were all fond of saying, Mrs. Aminette didn't raise no dummies, no sissies neither, not even the girls. Spencer Aminette knew he would hear from the good citizens of Cokeville eventually, one way or the other, one organization at a time, about the matter of Pokey. He had covered this ground not so long ago, in fact. Still wore the memory of it, the soles of his feet. Those were Spencer's very thoughts as he sat one night alone in his office down at Siesta Imports, with one eye on the security cameras and one eye on a topographical map pinned to the bulletin board over his desk beside the closed circuit monitors. The map showed the city of Cokeville, and stretching out north of that to a pale green expanse of empty map space, representing the southern fringes of Overton County, the long black ribbon of Route 111. Just 10 miles south of the town of Livingston, Spencer had placed a single cherry red thumbtack, Pokey. Spencer stared at the map for a long time, and then he leaned forward, pressed the intercom key for the pipe room, and said, "Tammy, if you ain't too busy, I need to see you in the office for a minute." Tammy's voice came back, garbled but affirmative. Spencer reached for a cigarette. Tammy arrived in the time it took him to light it. "How can I help you, boss?" Tammy was a rising graduate student in English up at Dixie College and among the very last of her species. That spring, the Tennessee State Board of Regents had leaned on state-funded schools to discontinue advanced degrees in the humanities as a cost-saving measure. Now it was just Tammy, good old Tammy, the last salmon nosing lonesome and heroic in the cold, hard currents of Brit Lit and Greek mythology in search of the American narrative's birth-death, death-birthplace. Tammy, who would you know who's really damn smart, can watch his language? Watch it like we do in the pipe room. Mind his tongue, there's a distinct difference. Spar with them church ladies on the side and the busybodies on the other. And who's an outsider? Shoot, he could be a daggum tweaker, all I care, so long as he's an outsider. Spencer took a deep drag on his cigarette and exhaled the smoke across the top of the desk lamp. Tammy considered the information from far below a furrowed brow. She waved at the lingering smoke. "I notice you keep saying hey," she said. "Are you meaning to do that?" "Well, I reckon I am." Spencer watched the cameras, a bank of closed-circuit monitors tilted down from the wall. He had other cameras connected to a switch so he could toggle through them on the computer. Nobody knew how many cameras there were at Siesta, except for Spencer. Tammy suspected that not even he knew how many there were or where they were all located. The store was empty that evening, except for the recent hire, Eddie, code talker, Cutler, intrepid at the front register. Spencer brought him up on camera number 4 and tightened the camera so his face filled the screen. He looked like a toddler, awoken too early from a nap. "What about him?" "Code talker? Well, you could do worse, I reckon. He's pretty dang smart. He had the best grades of anybody in our class anyway, whatever that's worth." "He's generally smart, though, right?" Spencer said. "I mean, I don't care if he got an A in his dang old poetry class, so long as he could play the game, cops-wise. Maybe not piss off old Lady Goolsby too much." "You reckon he's that kind of smart, too?" "Oh, I'm sure of it," Tammy said. "He knows how to act around people. Shit, Spence, he grew up in Washington, D.C. Think about it. That's why I wanted to bring him on in here. Knew he'd be good in the pipe room. If he understands anything, it's politics." "See, ain't from here neither," Spencer said. "That's important." "Yes, you keep saying. You know, I do have my friend Marcy coming out from California. California ain't here just as much as Washington ain't here, so Marcy ain't from here neither. We could make her a full-timer if we—" "You are talking about Hokey, right?" Spencer nodded in the affirmative and took a deep drag from his cigarette, snuffed it out hard against the bottom of the ashtray. "I'd love to, Tammy," he said. "I truly would. Thing is, I can't have a woman up there working by herself. It just won't do. It's got to be a guy. I'd rather it be somebody not from here or not too much from here, if you catch my drift." "I see what you're saying," Tammy said. "That makes sense. Well, like I said, you could definitely do worse than code talker." Tammy and Spencer sat looking at the monitor connected to the ceiling camera pointed at the front register. Camera number 4 was still in tight focus on Code Talker, who, having forgotten all about the constant surveillance, though not about the customers, looked both ways quickly, secretively, seemed to pass momentarily into a contemplative, trance-like state. and then snaked his forefinger up one nostril vigorously, as if the answer to the riddle of the cosmos lay hidden somewhere near the top of it. Thanks again for joining me today for the end of Chapter 1 of Hokey Pokey. If you enjoyed today, please give the video a like, and tune in next time. We're going to pick up with Chapter 2, Standing Inside a Clown's Vagina. Have a good day. Be well.